What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, an interesting video for you here on the channel. Who will dethrone all the current champions? There is a lot of people that we could really talk about who already are scheduled for matches who I think will dethrone all the current champions. There's new champions that we've had in the past couple of weeks, which is so shocking to say because every time I've been debating on doing this video, another championship changes. If I'm about to do the video, another championship changes. So we're going to go through all. We're going to talk about also who I predicted before on who would dethrone them. And yeah, let's get started. Cody Rhodes. I think it's going to be John Cena at WrestleMania. Truthfully, I think that's a pretty easy one to give Cena kind of a long reign with the title to really grow it. And then whoever dethrones him is going to be probably, I don't know, it's probably going to get pushed heavily. So we'll have to see. Dark horse for me is CM Punk. I really wanted Punk to go against him. I don't think it's going to happen anymore. I think maybe that's a 2026 kind of storyline to go to. But yeah, that match should happen. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes sometime soon. Tiffany Stratton. A lot of these you might think I'm going fast, but it's because there's not really much to talk about. Who I think it's going to be Charlotte Flair. I think Charlotte Flair wins it at WrestleMania. I think she's going to hold on to it. They're going to have their little feud for a while, and then it's going to be Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam with Tiffy winning it back. That's just a prediction, but I do believe that more than likely that's where we're heading to for now, truthfully. Up next, we have Bianca Belair. Somehow, some way she doesn't win. Bianca Belair is winning a title in 2025, in my opinion. I could see Bianca and Tiffany Stratton going against each other for at SummerSlam for that title, but in my opinion, I think more than likely it's Charlotte Flair. Up next, we have LA Knight, who has now won it. I think it is going to be Jacob Fatu. I think Jacob Fatu is going to have a big 2025 push. I think LA Knight as the babyface has a big compelling story to go against Jacob Fatu rather than Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, whatever, because Jacob Fatu was going to win that U.S. title or be in the match, but LA Knight stole the pin. I do believe Jimmy Uso, though, could potentially win the U.S. title, and maybe that's where they have Jimmy Uso versus Jacob Fatu instead. But Jimmy Uso is going to be having a singles title run, I think, soon. I just think that Jacob Fatu is going to have a title, maybe lose to Jimmy Uso. That's the guess and prediction I would have so far right now for the U.S. title. Up next, we have Chelsea Green. I think it's going to be Zelina Vega. I think it could happen at WrestleMania. I think it could happen another time as well. But Zelina Vega is a solo act that deserves a title run, and I think a mid-card title is perfect for her. So I have Zelina Vega potentially winning for the U.S. title. My dark horse, though, is Roxanne Perez. I think if a draft would happen and Chelsea Green would still have the title, I expect Roxanne Perez to be maybe drafted to SmackDown, maybe not Raw. I mean, either or, and she wins the title there and wins and really kind of cements herself as a huge player moving forward. Up next, we have Street Profits. So for this, for Shinsuke Nakamura and ESA, I did think that LA Knight would win off of him. For DIY, I said Street Profits would win it because they had the story about, the Street Profits. Now, who do I think? I think it's Pretty Deadly. I think they're going to have a tag match at WrestleMania still with Pretty Deadly winning off of Street Profits rather than Street Profits winning off of DIY at WrestleMania because I think it's going to be an interesting, compelling story. I just believe the push of Pretty Deadly is coming soon because everyone's so hyped around them. My dark horse, though, is Motor City Machine Guns. I was debating on putting Lucha Bros here, but I think more than likely it's going to be Motor City Machine Guns. I think WrestleMania is where these tag titles are going to change, truthfully. That's just a prediction, though. But I really love the Street Profits right now. They are amazing right now. And I do believe that Pretty Deadly is probably going to win them at WrestleMania in a tag match. Up next, we have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who I think I did predict last time to win it. It was that or who was it? It was that or Nia Jax. I have Nia Jax and Candice LeRae winning. My dark horse is Metaphor, but I could also see the Wyatt Six being involved in winning off of them. But there's been no signs of it right now. I just think Nia Jax and Candice LeRae will need something for WrestleMania, and this would be a big way to get them involved. I also think Metaphor is really, really great right now with their tag division in the women's side of things, and I think it would make a lot of sense to kind of push them higher if they're going to push them to the main roster, and to have them winning the tag titles and keeping on to the main roster. Up next, we have Obafemi. So now we're entering NXT. Obafemi, I think Ricky Saints is a great pick. This is going to be for a long, long time. Maybe Ricky Saints isn't here, so it's going to take a little longer, but I still have Ricky Saints here for the one to dethrone Obafemi. My dark horse is Tony D'Angelo, and I think it's more possible with the chance of him losing the North American title. When will they push Obafemi to the main roster is the biggest question, in my opinion. I don't really know. I think it's more than likely going to happen later rather than sooner now, because I think they need that big main attraction that is Obafemi. And I think Obafemi would... It's hard to say who he'd lose to, because whoever beats Obafemi, it's going to be a huge push, in my opinion, or it could happen at a triple threat match. I think that's another big likely scenario for them. But yeah, I have Tony D'Angelo possibly, though, beating him again and becoming the Obafemi kryptonite, in my opinion. I think that's a good way to kind of have these two have their big feuds. Up next is Stephanie Vauquier with the women's title. I did predict her to win it off Julia. I didn't think she would also have the North American title. I think Julia could easily come back and win. Supposedly there's an injury and a visa issue that's happening. That's why she lost the title. Come back, win it again. I think that's a big possibility that could happen for them. My dark horse, though, is Jordynne Grace. I just think Jordynne Grace could go to the main roster sooner rather than later. I don't think Julia is going to the main roster, truthfully. I think when I look at the women's division right now, the two women I know for a fact that will stay on NXT is Julia and Stephanie Vauquier. So, yeah, I just expect those two to stay on NXT. So those are my picks. Jordynne Grace is a big question mark, but if anything, Jordynne Grace could easily win it off of her instead. Up next is Shawn Spears. I think it's going to be Javon Evans. Shawn Spears wasn't even showing. Or Ricky Saints. Now, here's why. Javon Evans is now at the time where I believe they could put a title on him and it would make a lot of sense. I think there's a lot of baby faces that we haven't seen so far. I think it could be Tony D'Angelo again, truthfully. I think that's a big possibility. Maybe I should have put that as my dark horse. I just have to believe that Shawn Spears is going to lose to a babyface. And I could see both of these two who could get titles right away here soon. That could be a push for them. I think Ricky Starks should go for the main title rather than this title, but maybe there's a way, because they're already kind of talking with Ridge Holland. He's kind of had an interaction for a second with Shawn Spears, if I'm not mistaken. So it does make sense for Ricky Saints. I keep saying Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints to go against Shawn Spears, but Javon Evans is really my pick here. I think he is the babyface that they could start really pushing and to become a main player for NXT. Up next, we have Stephanie Vauquier again for the North American title. I think it's going to be Jada Parker. They've already kind of had some interactions. It's kind of showing to me that they really do believe in Jada Parker, especially with her being there for the Royal Rumble, which was crazy to see. I did not expect that. And we also have Sol Ruca. I think Sol Ruca is going to get a big push. I'm wondering if they're going to push her for the NXT title rather than the North American title, because, my God, she got a pin on Chelsea Green, of all people. Sol Ruca is next up. She's one of my favorite women off of the whole entire roster right now. The finisher she does, the moveset she has, it is insane to me. And I just have to believe that she's title worthy here soon, and I don't know if it's for the North American or NXT, but I do believe she's up there and could easily win it. Up next, we have Nathan Frazier and Axiom for Fraxium. I have a feeling, I'm going to say who I think first. I think it's going to be this new group that's going on because they got to put gold on them, or I think it could be, Josh Briggs in Samura? Why am I blanking on his name right now? Inshura? I don't know, but he clicked the other day. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name so much right now. That's killing me. I want to cry now just thinking about. I can't remember his name. Anyways, I do believe that they proved themselves, and it could have been where they lost it the last tag match that they had. But they have put gold, I think, on this new faction for me to be really scared of them right away. My other thing I think could happen is just relinquishing. Did I really just say that? Relinquish. Why can I not say that word? Just vacate the titles. I don't know why I cannot say that word right now. Everything's going wrong right now. The sickness is really hitting me. I just have to believe that vacating the titles could be the way, because this tag team is so strong. And Axiom proved recently in the SmackDown that they are two talents that could go into the main roster and make some noise. Truthfully. I think they're getting pushed up this draft. I think more than likely we're going to see both of them be big superstars to come. And I think vacating titles would really put legacy to their name. Up next, we have Gunther. I think it's going to be Jey Uso, especially with the Royal Rumble win. Jey Uso is more than likely going to win for me. I think my dark horse is CM Punk if Jey Uso wouldn't win, but it is Jey Uso all the way, man. I think Jey Uso is winning this at WrestleMania, and that's just the truth about it. Up next is Io Sky. Now, I predicted Rhea Ripley to lose to Io Sky at WrestleMania because I thought they would do a triple threat and give the title to Io Sky. Now, I think with Io Sky winning, it's going to be Bianca Belair winning the title, and Rhea Ripley's the dark horse, of course, because they could give it back to Rhea, but Rhea's better on the chase. Rhea is better on the chase. This is what I wanted. I wanted Io Sky to get a championship run, and you know what? A short run is fine because I think Io Sky versus Bianca Belair makes a lot of sense to have with Rhea Ripley intervening and making a triple threat. And I think Bianca will win, pinning Io and protecting Rhea Ripley to set up Bianca and Rhea probably SummerSlam. That's where I think we're going, and I think it makes a ton of sense for me. I'm excited to see this one. I'm excited to say Bianca is probably going to win this title. She does deserve it, in my opinion. Up next is Braun Breaker. There's a lot of different ways we can go because it looks like a multi-man match is coming for WrestleMania. Sheamus is who I think so far. I think Sheamus makes a lot of sense when you're thinking of, getting his WrestleMania moment, getting a Grand Slam win. I think it makes a lot of sense in a multi-man match, him being the winner. But my dark horse here is Penta in case they don't do the Lucha Bros. But with Rey Fenix's kind of introduction, I'm a little scared on this one. My other dark horse that I was going to put on here was AJ Styles. I think they're going to have something with Logan, though, so I don't know if this. I think Braun Breaker might need to lose the title WrestleMania so then he can be a main event, going for the main roster titles in 2025 and really build himself as that main event threat. But yeah, I think maybe he holds on to it for a long time and then we'll have to see. But yeah, I do believe Braun Breaker is possibly losing his title WrestleMania. And I thought Penta made a lot of sense because they really pushed him as a solo act. And I hope they kind of keep him separate with Rey Fenix for a while on SmackDown before they combine the two. But we'll have to see because I also believe they might just do Lucha Bros immediately. Up next, we have Lyra Valkyria. I think it's going to be Roxanne Perez because it makes the most sense for me for someone from NXT to come up and win the title immediately. Roxanne Perez, especially if they do something on Raw. It could also be Becky Lynch. I think that's a great feud that could happen. Maybe Becky Lynch and Lyra. Maybe there's not a match with Lyra and Becky Lynch. And Becky turns on Lyra, whatever it could be. I think this is another way you could do it where it's really a good storyline to go with the title. But I think Becky Lynch will win this title sometime in 2025. Up next is War Raiders. I do believe it's still going to be New Day. And my dark horse is still the Creed brothers. But truthfully, New Day needs to win these titles. I just don't know why they haven't done it because the heat on them would be so great. It's just a long time that they haven't done it, and I don't know why they haven't done it. Yeah, I do believe that it is the War Raiders to lose here soon. All right, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.